Without even a proper needs study, the JJC board voted to approve an unnecessary $58 million expansion of its culinary arts program. In debating the project, the board had no idea whether its graduates were getting and maintaining employment in the field. We raised objections. A haphazard email study was completed, and it only showed that 2 of the previous year's graduates gained employment. 2. What about graduates from 2, 3, or 5 years ago? They don't know. What organization spends $58 million without a proper needs study? Part of the reasoning was that $25 million of the project was going to be paid for by the state. The project passed and is now partially completed. Guess what? As we predicted, the state pulled its funding. The JJC property tax levy was raised by nearly 17% last year. How much will they raise it to pay for the shortfall? They also raised tuition on students. High property taxes don't help young people get jobs. It moves jobs out of state. Learn more at willcounty2013.com. This message was paid for by the Will County Liberty Club.
Mark Batnick of the Will County Liberty Club addresses the JJC board before the vote for this project back in 2011.
I just want to provide some caution, or ask for some caution for the board, that maybe the due diligence hasn't been done in determining the needs for the Culinary Center. When I talk to business people in the area, and when I talk to graduates, I have friends that are graduates, there doesn't seem to be a lot of jobs in the district. When I look around, I don't see a lot of 5-star hotels or 5-star restaurants in the area, and I'm concerned that those resources might be better spent in areas where, for example, just down the road we have the largest intermodal in the hemisphere, right here. What resources, what type of job training do those businesses need to accommodate those businesses? So my first caution is that I would really love to see some data that backs up, although some things on the outside seem like they're just fantastic, we need to do this, we need this push. I'm worried that not only we're doing a disservice to the taxpayers, but maybe we're doing a disservice to the students who put 2 years of time into a program. If you're expanding something, I gotta believe as an 18-year-old, I might say, well, they wouldn't expand that if there wasn't jobs on the other end of the rainbow from this. And if there aren't the jobs for the people, especially in the district, because as a community college, my understanding is we want to get people jobs and help the community. I just would like to provide some cautioners. I'd like to see some data backing up that the graduates from the culinary program move on to successful positions 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, that it's good for the students, for the taxpayers, and for everybody. That's the main cautionary tale. The second cautionary tale, I was pretty involved in some of the writings regarding the capital bill. And my understanding is that there's about $26 million of this is coming. It's a promise from the capital bill. The capital bill has been overturned in the courts. So essentially what you have is you have a promise for money. That's a promise for money. It's not even a promise for money, it's a promise to make a promise for money from a state whose financial situation isn't very promising. And I'd be concerned about laying out $43 million where maybe things are going to change and you're going to get stuck for that other $26 million. I would just like to see, I think it would be prudent to get more information before moving forward with a project that's this large. There's not too many entities that would spend $43 million without a whole stack full of data that really supports the end goal for what the project is going to provide.
Along with Mark Batnick, multiple members of the community voiced concerns to the JJC board regarding this project and lack of justification, calling on them to do their due diligence. The majority board members then proceeded to increase the budget for this project to $58 million and voted to pass it. Board members who voted for this project are Susan Klenn, Robert Wunderlich, Jeff May, Andy Mihalik, and Dan O'Connell.